I was gonna play Trials this weekend, and I was gonna see what guns am I gonna farm for. Is any of them worth it? And then I looked at the loot pool for this season, and I realized it's the worst loot pool we've ever had so far. And Bungie really needs to bring back those old guns or make something worth going for. So yeah, let's talk about it. So just for reference on the guns I'm comparing from before to now, for SMG it's Shire's Wrath, Igneous Hammer, Eye of Soul, Astral Horizon, the Summoner, and finally the Messenger. We're going to be comparing all these guns to the new Trials Bow, the new Shotgun the Inquisitor, Burden of Guilt, Forgiveness, Aisha's Embrace, and Reed's Regret. While recording this, I was going and talking about basically each individual gun from the current loot pool versus the older weapons, and turns out my mic was slightly unplugged, so I'm now going to do a slightly quicker version of what I'd previously planned, because yeah, I'm not going through all that again, that's for sure. So yeah. So for the old Trials weapons, we have Shire's Wrath, and this thing was a 600 RPM Void SMG with kill clip and really nice consistency perks in the first column, and you could get this thing to 99 range. No other SMG can do that I can think of. This thing was hitting at about 27 meters with killing wind. You'd get juiced up to 28, and there's no other SMG that can do this. This thing is a definition of power creep in SMGs. It might get toned down before it comes back, who knows. Next up is Igneous Hammer, probably just cutting it short. The most consistent feeling 120 in the game. Eye of Soul, a really solid kinetic sniper, not the best, but really solid. It might have been the best at the time when it could roll with snapshot opening, but oh well, can't do that anymore for some reason. So yeah, really solid sniper. Astral Horizon, kind of sort of the found verdict in the kinetic slot, but to get this gun you didn't have to play Master Vogue and do all the challenges. But unfortunately they took slide shot off this weapon. It still has opening shot, but yeah, just a crazy aggressive range shotgun that I unfortunately never got to use. But yeah, this thing was juiced. Next up, the Summoner, my favorite 600 RPM auto rifle in the game. Really consistent, nice perks in both columns. Just a really solid weapon. And last but definitely not least, the Messenger. Better than No Time in my opinion. I know this dude's smoking crack. Trust me, I'm not. I don't do crack. Trust me. But this thing could roll kill clip Desperado. I never saved the kill clip roll, unfortunately. I only have a Desperado one. Then Desperado got nerfed, so that sucks. But yeah, this thing absolutely insane. I don't feel like in the kinetic slot anything compares. In the secondary or energy slot, Premonition with Surplus kind of compares, but that's for a different video. But yeah, Messenger, insane aggressive frame pulse. For the current weapons in the loot pool, the Inquisitor is a generic slug shotgun with really good stats. That's how I see the gun. Whistler's Whim, worst archetype of bow, and it's a reskin at that, which is honestly, I wish this thing was never introduced. It's just unfortunate. Burden of Guilt, there's better PvP fusions. This is just a bad archetype. Really good in PvE though. It's gonna be a kind of a common theme with these weapons, you'll kind of notice. And same thing for the Whistler's Whim. Really solid PvE bow in my opinion. Reed's Regret, kind of a best in slot linear fusion if you're using it properly. If you're using Fonts of Might, it's really easy to get the stasis, nade, whole shard thing going. Really solid for that. PvP, it's alright. Hipfire Harmony, kind of an underrated role. That's literally it in my opinion. Forgiveness, this thing is just outclassed by everything else, and I don't like the archetype. I don't feel like it's consistent, which is kind of funny because the gun's called Forgiveness. But as a really solid PvE role in Demolitionist, Adrenaline Junkie for Arc 3.0, but that's kind of it. And Aisha's Embrace, which kind of gets a pass from me. I actually enjoy this scout rifle, but once I get a better vouchsafe, this thing's done. It's gone. I'm not gonna use it. So I don't feel like that's trials loot worthy. That world loot pool weapon can just take it over. But yeah, those are the current weapons in the pool. Now, with all these guns, biggest issue here is FOMO. If you don't know what that means, fear of missing out. It's pretty common in this game, unfortunately. It happens a lot more than you think. There's some crazy good guns that just like poofed out of the game just because Bungie didn't really feel like oversaturating loot pools. But with targeting, I mean, it doesn't seem necessary. But again, FOMO is gonna be my main reason for making this right now, really. So just talking about the old weapons, each of them felt like they were a best in slot for PvP. They all felt really consistent. They all felt like if you were using it and you farmed for it, you felt good for farming it. You didn't feel like you just wasted a ton of time, you know? And I feel like that's the worst issue with these current guns, where their perks are kind of just bleh. The overall stats are kind of trash too. So you're in a situation where you're farming for a very specific role, which can get very, very, very boring after doing it for countless hours. That's just how it is. So that's why I'm not doing it. I have gotten sick of the whole grind for this gun because it might be good soon type of mindset. Done that for a few years now. It's really not worth it. So, do I think Bungie's gonna bring these back? Yeah, actually I do. I'm actually pretty hopeful with the fact that they will. Do they bring them all back at once? Maybe, maybe not. More than likely, it's gonna be a situation where the gun gets brought back alongside a new weapon. So let's just say, hypothetically, Shire's Wrath comes back, new perks, whatever. The gun comes back alongside a new, what gun hasn't been made yet? A new fusion rifle, I guess. I don't know. This is just hypothetical. And they just keep doing that for seasons on seasons on seasons on end until the whole group of weapons is back. And is this gonna work long term? No, I don't think so. This is a pretty bad system. The best way to do it is just to make them all targetable. The guns are already very expensive, so you're not gonna be able to necessarily farm them unless you've played this game a ton, which if you have, then you deserve to be able to just farm a gun like you want, because you've put in the hours, you put in the time, you deserve that. For the other people to be able to get the gun at least once, try it, see if it's worth farming for, instead of just watching videos hoping, man, I hope that gun's come back, or man, I hope this is back in the game so that I can actually use it. They can just get a shot for it themselves. If Bungie wanted to get really creative, I mean, this could kind of be their chance. If they just don't feel like making new weapons for the competitive rework coming next season, they can just put the Trials weapons in there, slap on some Crucible like images onto it, and call it good. And do I feel like there'd be a good amount of backlash from that? Yes. So I feel like if they did like 50-50, that would work really well actually, because you'd have a reason for people to go into competitive mode to get better in competitive, and then the old guns would be brought back, but they wouldn't be saturating the Trials loot pool. They'd be in their own separate loot pool, which I feel like it already separates things, and there wouldn't be any worry about too much loot in a loot playlist. So yeah, that's about it for this video. I just kind of wanted to talk about the old weapons versus the new ones, even if it was a little quick. I don't know if I made this video well, I don't know if I made it bad. Feel free to let me know, because I've never made a video kind of just talking about like weapons in the loot pool and things like that. But this was pretty enjoyable to make. Definitely better than playing Trials right now, so hey, I guess I had something to do. But yeah, hopefully Bungie really gets creative with what they decide to do. I'm excited, but at the same time not really, because sometimes what they end up doing is just kind of disappointing. But yeah, we'll have to see. Praying that these guns get added back soon in any way, shape, or form. I wouldn't mind. And I don't know, I might make a video on like a competitive wish list for the next season, since it is getting reworked. And if that's something that you'd be interested in, feel free to let me know. And yeah, if you enjoyed this video, feel free to drop a like and sub. And yeah, peace.